Looks like it's going to be a pretty soggy night here at TIAA Bank Field. Rain showers, maybe an occasional clap of thunder supposed to continue throughout here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. 90, Wolf.
Now a handoff looking right. A limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go, G. All day. Come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
49.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week, as his first one here's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. First down, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, Fields. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And he rifles one incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Hey, let's go.
March 49. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got
Big grip.
Now back to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
First down,
Throwing on 1st down. Fields. And he will find his man on the outside.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And this one will be brought back to the 22. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
218, chop it.
Kill.
Squeeze. Ready?
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Get it.
And an alley to run. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Makes it third down and 12 yards to go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
They'll look to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
64, weak.
They'll drop to throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
First and goal.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
42 to Mike, 42. 42 to Ricky. Mike's 42.
Operating from the gun. Fields. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fields. Over the middle, complete. It's 4th. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's taken to the 26. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert to 6.
To throw on second down. Fields looking middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Here we go, set, 60 or.
Tight ends Ringo, tight ends on Ringo, tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down, 4 down.
Big grip, big grip.
Now a play fake here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to air one out. He's got it at the 15. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, Fields. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready, break.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ready.
51's the mic. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
Get it.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
15 line. 15 line.
Watch the run. They're running it.
Let go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. They go screen. This is Ingram. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Pull it high. Hey, Haywood. Shoot.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Second and long. Going for it all. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
49.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Going on the ground with Eckler. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now the second down throw on target. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Fields firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third down, Fields going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if there got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
Yeah, this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A gain there of 21 yards.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the gun, Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Check.
Operating from the gun, Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ford. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Ready? 42. Nice 42. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Come on. 42 is the mic, boy. 42. 42 is the mic. Check back.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Strip that ball. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Check.
Back to the air on second down. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, here we go. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Let's go.
Quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
You can't block me. You can't block me. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Big grip.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Taron Johnson made the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run here with Eckler. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Fields. He's going to air one out. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Check 4, check 4.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, high 7.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You can't stop me.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
44.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ford. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Back to throw. Fields. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they take a knee. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. And they will take a knee here. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Jaguars, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.